All right, everybody. I'm going to be starting the live stream here shortly as everybody kind of compiles in. But before we get into this, I just want to ask if everyone, that is in here wants to join the Discord for free, you guys can. I have it pinned in the chat. You guys could learn a lot in terms of, price chart analysis and all that stuff. But yeah, before we start, I just want to get, everybody in here so that nobody misses anything. Everybody who is in here already, welcome to the live stream. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. We got a ton of stuff to talk about. A little bit of it could be considered speculation, but for the most part, I think that what we've been hearing for some time is really going to be implemented very soon. Like I said, the title of this video is definitely not clickbait. This is once in a lifetime opportunity, and we should not be wasting it investing in other projects that, aren't already kind of certified, if you will, to be implemented in the future financial market. So we're going to be talking about it for sure, going in depth on it as well. Welcome everybody in here. Like for an example, Braille's Ford 92. Woke up just in time. Yes, sir. IZ Labels, what's up? Simo or Simo, I hope that I said that right. Welcome to the chat. Patrick Guy, welcome to the chat as well. Umar26, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Definitely leave it in the chat. I hope everybody's having a great day. Today is incredible. Overall, we have some news to talk about regarding a few projects. I do have plans on uploading a few videos in regards to Jigstack, possibly Bitcoin Cash and stuff like that. I want to accumulate 10K Hbar hustling my part-time job. Yes, sir. You already know, trust me, I've been accumulating Hbar for so long now. It feels like forever, but I feel like we are on the cusp of, true innovation to the entire financial market. So yeah, we're going to be starting here in about, give or take, a minute. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing great. I'm doing great, man. Trust me, today is going to be incredible. I have a few plans set up to pretty much, do today, and I do have pretty much a lot of work to do as well. It's incredible, but nonetheless, yeah. Hi, I'm from Korea. Hey, welcome to the chat. So many breadcrumbs from Hedera, big wigs. What's going down? Dude, a lot of stuff. I was in the live stream today listening to stuff, and, right now, they don't want to give too much information away. They can't, you really got to, think about they have responsibilities to uphold. Plus, also, they're under NDAs. So they can't fully mention, HBAR or Hedera Hashgraph. But she didn't have to, considering, what we can find on the website and stuff. Yes, breaking news. Live chat, nice. Yes, welcome Chris, welcome Tony, welcome everybody. All right, let's get into this. So let's remove the image. So first and foremost, I do want to talk about this tweet real quick because this tweet is actually mostly true. I don't want to say that it's fully true. Hey, welcome. Awesome. How's Delaware? I actually have never been to Delaware. But we see if Hbar is announcing CBDCs this week, it will be the end of Bitcoin market dominance and the beginning of Hbar market dominance. As you guys know, Hbar actually has no market dominance overall. If we come over to this Bitcoin dominance chart, right, we have two sort of targets here. But for the most part, if we come here and look up Hbar dominance, there's none, right? We need to get to the point where we do grab some dominance overall. Hey, welcome, and thank you for subscribing. We do need some dominance overall in terms of Hbar, and I think that sometime very soon we're going to be seeing that, especially considering CBDCs. So let's talk about what happened today, right? So we know that the MTech CEO was chatting with pretty much the entire U.S. committee for the future of financial markets and the future market health and structure overall. Now, what's very interesting about this, and we've been talking about this for quite some time now, I even talked about it in my video from yesterday. Listen, as much as it is speculation, there is also a lot of things that pinpoint it down to the T on how Hbar will be, implemented into the future financial market, how it will be utilized. I do have a few things I want to talk about, right? So first and foremost, we come over here and we look at the statistics for Hbar. We've talked about these statistics for so long. We've talked about how it is one of the most greenest energy compliant cryptos out there. For an example, in the live stream from today, Cadet, which is the CEO of MTech, she mentioned that we need a green technology sort of cryptocurrency to be implemented into the future CBDC structure because it will need to run efficiently. And it is true, right? We even talk about, in comparison to the XRP ledger, right? Because XRP kilowatts an hour is 0.0079. When we look at Hbar, it's significantly greener. Not only that, but it's also faster. If we look here, CO2 emissions as well is pretty high. Gallons of gas is pretty high as well. Now, we don't have these statistics overall, but we do have the speeds. If we come up here, 1 second. I forgot where it is, but I know somewhere on here there is a speed calculator. But I know I just know that Hbar is faster and cheaper, and it has more scalable options in terms of 10,000 plus transactions per second. But the reason why this is very important, the reason why scalability matters. Now, Cadet was talking about blockchain technology. Now, Hbar isn't blockchain technology, and we know this. It's hashgraph technology, which is far superior, and it's completely different. It's the first of its kind, patent technology as well. So Hbar is huge in terms of being an early adopter in it because it's the first of its kind. But she was saying that it needs to provide security, transparency, scalability, and much more in terms of even privacy. And the big key component for Hbar is this ABFT compliance that it has, this consensus technology. That ABFT is very important because that is the most secure technology that we have to date. And that includes everything. That includes, XRP, it includes XDC, DAG, all these projects that I've been talking about for quite some time that I believe will be implemented into the financial system as well. It doesn't have what Hbar has. The only reason why the price is still under 30 cents and it's only sitting stagnant at this 20-cent mark is because not a lot of people know about Hbar and they don't want to do the research. I've mentioned this for so long when I do videos on Hbar that, yeah, sure, the price sucks right now. The price action is terrible. And I know a lot of people are very impatient in this game, but what we're seeing in terms of, the digital financial market is going to be insane in terms of being utilized with Hbar, because we already know if we come down here, right, and we go to, I forgot where the partners are, but we could go to the Project New Dawn for an example, because this is where it actually lists all the partners. So if we come down here, I mentioned this in my last video that Hbar is listed as a partner overall. She said the same thing Lehman said in his interview, secure and showed pertinent information, but didn't share all information. Yes, it's because they're under NDAs. A lot of these projects, especially Hedera Hashgraph, we don't hear a lot of news regarding it, and there's not a lot of marketing because of NDAs. They are playing it safe for the most part. But the reason why I look up this Project New Dawn is a lot of people missed my video from early May, because I did do a video in terms of Project New Dawn. I'm sorry for this taking forever, but it is what it is. So we talked about MTech, for an example. MTech is on here in terms of the digital cash infrastructure, which will be huge, but let's look up Hedera. So this is where we see Hedera being implemented overall. So further working with the Hedera Hashgraph network, we will develop further understanding on how to use interoperability to provide trust in the private CBDC network. It's all privacy matters and security at the end of the day. Hedera offers that, but it also needs to be highly scalable to the point where it's much more faster than, Visa and stuff. And when we look over here at Visa, first off, a huge shout out for the XRP ledger for listing all this information, but we see Visa at, 0.008, which the XRP ledger and XRP itself is slower than Visa and also MasterCard. When we come over to Hbar, we know that it's faster, first off, and it's cheaper, and it's also a lot more scalable than these two. And that's the big key component, because these two were implemented to outbeat banks. When we look back into, it was like the early 60s, if you will, when credit cards and debit cards were first implemented, they were implemented to transform the game, right? That was like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as well. And we are seeing this again in repetition, where we need to change something. We need to change the US dollar, and that's exactly what's happening, right? Even she mentioned in the interview that this is once in a lifetime opportunity to really fix the US dollar and fix the overall currencies that we're seeing around the entire world. And like I said, we need something that's going to be adopted that's going to outbeat these two here, because these two are financial giants, as we all know. Right now, if I go grab my wallet, I have a Visa card, I have a MasterCard. Everybody most likely utilizes one of these two things, or a bank account, or just digital cash, which is down here, paper currency. And we all know how unscalable paper currency is and how inflated it is. Now, HBAR itself, we know that it's not inflatable. And a lot of people will argue that it is with the tokenomics of it. And the tokenomics are not nearly as bad as people think it is, with a little bit of it being released every single month, which is like 260 million, which changes year to date as well. Like I said, when we look at things in terms of, we know that Hedera Hashgraph is already SEC compliant and regulated. We already know that it's much more scalable than any project out there in terms of even XRP, DAG, XDC and stuff, which a lot of people say DAG will kill HBAR, but it's impossible to, because HBAR already has the key components and the key partnerships to actually be implemented into the financial market itself. But they will be changing the entire framework by offering the interoperability and the trust layer, because we talked about the trust layer for so long, and we're actually seeing them now talk about it in terms of a wide scale, in terms of talking with government agencies and officials, and really bringing light to the interoperability factor and the trust layer factor of HBAR, which I told you guys is a key component to HBAR's tech. And that is why I really think that at the end of the day, a lot of these projects that are trying to do the same thing, yeah, sure, they will be implemented in some sort of way, but they won't be implemented the way that Hedera Hashgraph is going to. The CBDC network could potentially work on Hedera and build on Hedera itself. Now, if that happens, we could forget about 20 cents for the price of HBAR. We could also forget about $1 as well, because the Hedera network is fueled by HBAR itself, and every single company that we see get a partnership with HBAR, we are excited about, considering the fact that they will be utilizing HBAR in a way that they are holding it to power their project on the Hedera network. That's why when I say that if a CBDC, is built on Hedera, it's going to scale at such a high rate, because trillions of dollars will move, through a CBDC network. That's why we talk about the HODL of XRP and how it will be the bridge layer. And that's where a lot of those fees accrued will also burn XRP. Now, I still think that at the end of the day, HBAR is a better crypto than XRP in terms of scalability and the cost effectiveness as well. But they both will be utilized in huge ways, in the sense of one being the trust layer, one being the bridge asset, if you will. But again, it's hard to say exactly how they will be utilized, because I personally don't have that intel. I wish I did. But we could really look into the facts and look into the actual knowledge that we are seeing that is live on, like, for an example, MTech or HBAR's website and stuff like that, and comparing it to most projects out there, like, for an example, XRP, DAG, etc. So a lot of this, we do see Hedera being mentioned multiple times here. We see, again, it could have partnerships with Microsoft. It already has partnerships with Google, IBM, and stuff to help those scale, and they list them here, right? Now, again, it is a public distributed ledger, DLT. We've talked about those as well. And we see that it's decentralized here, and they mention all that. But the big key component here to take away is the security options that you have on Hedera, the scalability options. And again, they already mentioned that privacy is a huge thing that they are talking about as well, which I know a lot of people, they didn't like the idea of the CBDC being implemented because they didn't want their transactions to all be public. And she also mentioned that that is a big pain point as well. And she said that, we really have to do better in terms of, pretty much getting the, they don't want to look at somebody who's buying a sandwich at Subway or something like that. They don't want that information being public or anything like that. So that will still remain private, but they will, look at money laundering and stuff like that in terms of the overall transaction IDs and stuff. So at the end of the day, I definitely think, and this is also in terms of, when I mentioned that Hedera will be most likely partnering with Quantum or Q&T, We also see the idea that they are working with the same exact people. Now, this Hyperledger fabric here is also a big key component for QNT as well. But yeah, there is a lot of information regarding Hedera in this overall, structure here. But the biggest key component is the fact that they are already partnered with MTech. MTech being a big giant in this space for a lot of the entire future of financial, market and also structure. We do need to do better in terms of the financial market and pretty much bringing banking systems to those unbanked individuals, which he also mentioned is a big key component. But like I said, with Hedera scalability options, with the security layer and also the privacy layer, I think that it's pretty much, it's just right in front of our faces that Hedera will most likely be the main component for these CBDCs. And why would they, research, or I should say, why would they interview somebody who already did the research on blockchain technology compared to Hbar, and they already have a partnership with Hedera Hashgraph, and we already know that they are, if we come over here to the home page, working with the Fed as well. So if we come down here, they're already working with the Federal Reserve. They talked about the Sand Dollar, which is the Bahamas CBDC that's already completely live, and they're talking about the pain points of it and why it does need to help scale at a bigger price. So there's a lot of information to go over, but there's also a lot of speculation to kind of weed out, if you will. But if you really look into the overall statistics, and if you look into Hbar compared to a lot of projects, like for an example ADA, which I know a lot of people say that ADA is going to kill Hbar. It's not. ADA is so far behind in terms of tech and also in terms of statistics. They say that XRP is going to kill Hbar. It's not. A lot of these projects that they mention, comparing it to Hbar's tech and scalability options, it's like night and day. And we've talked about this. We've talked about how it did over 1 billion transactions in just 1 year. And if it's scaling at that rate compared to like Visa and MasterCard, it's honestly just no comparison at all. Grabbed myself 12,500 last night. Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible amount overall. I think 1,000 Hbar at some point in time is life-changing money. Hbar going up. Buy somewhere, wait a little. You could wait a little. When we look at Bitcoin, it's still at 40K, and it still has not been able to break that, pretty much resistance level. So we could definitely see a lower price point on Bitcoin, which would reflect Hbar falling a little bit as well. I mean, it's hard to say if you want to buy now or not. It's totally up to you. I mean, I always say it all depends on who you are as a person. Like, if you're here for the long-term game, buying at these prices doesn't matter. Like, I could argue the fact that buying at 21 cents and then buying at 15 cents is a completely different story, but it's really not. It all depends on who you are. Like, for me personally, if I'm long-term on an investment, and I'm not trying to sell tomorrow, next week, or even like next month, then I don't care what price I'm buying at, especially when I know that what I hold is extremely valuable. When we look at the prices that we're at now compared to 45 cents or 46 cents, it's pretty much a double, a 2x price point. So if you're a long-term holder, there's no problem buying at these prices here. And honestly, like I said, I accumulate at all of these prices. I accumulate under 30 cents. I bought at 30 cents. I bought at 28 cents. I bought all the way down to that 15-cent dip. And I don't feel bad at all for being in the water a little bit on most of these investments up here, because I'm extremely long-term on Hbar, and I do know what I hold at the end of the day. It's just like when people were investing into XRP at 60 cents before it went down to 17 cents. So Hbar is as close to XRP when it comes to cost and efficiency. After the news on XRP, everyone will be looking at Hbar. Yeah, definitely. I think Hbar is extremely suppressed in terms of marketability, because I mentioned the NDAs and stuff. So it's really hard to tell, where it's going to go without that marketing. If CBDCs utilize Hbar, what could the price likely soar to? Well, I'm not. At the end of the day, I'm a realistic individual in terms of prices. Like, I'm not gonna say $1,000 or $10,000 for Hbar, just because it's unrealistic, right? And At some point in time, we could definitely see $100 plus for Hbar, but it's going to take time. We got to remember that Bitcoin's dominance is reigning supreme over this entire market. So when we look at market cap and stuff like that, yeah, sure, market cap doesn't matter for a lot of these projects. Like, for an example, market cap for Hbar doesn't matter. I already told you guys, in terms of market cap, we're not investing in something like Apple where we're hoping for, the next iPhone to be incredible or, for them to have a solid launch. We're investing in something like Hbar because of the technology and what it's going to be doing for the entire world at some point in time. Because we do know, and even Lehman said, running one shard, which when we come back over to this, right? He was saying running one shard could allow for 500,000 transactions per second in just one sector, and that's in the United States. But he said running one shard is just not in his interest because it's not secure enough. And that's the big key component behind Hedera is the security options, right? They want it to be the most secure public network at the end of the day for transactions, and once sharding is enabled overall, in terms of just the entire market, unlimited transactions per second will kill pretty much any project out there trying to do the same thing that Hbar is doing. So, I like I said, XRP is completely different in terms of what it's trying to accomplish than Hbar, but Hbar, when it accomplishes what it is trying to do in terms of staking and sharding and stuff, you got to remember a lot of projects will just not make it. ADA will not make it, and I don't say that to be, ADA fodder or anything like that. It's just realistic viewpoints because ADA doesn't have a true use case value besides it trying to accomplish what Hbar is accomplishing. Yeah, sure, they haven't built one D app in over 4 years, which could be a big argue point for ADA. But also, it's just the fact that Hedera's outscaling pretty much any project out there. It outscaled, for an example, Ethereum in 1 year than Ethereum did in over like 7 years. So when we look at Hedera's tech compared to statistics, it's going to kill a lot of these projects out there. And it's not even me trying to be clickbaity or me being like, oh, Hbar's the superior tech, because yeah, sure, there is some, argument points why Hbar is also not an incredible investment, and there's a lot of things that a lot of people fud on, but at the end of the day, I really can't pinpoint what's bad about Hbar overall, because there's not a lot of bad things to talk about besides, yeah, sure, tokenomics look a little shabby, but they're not. When we look at the statistics on the tokenomics, it's actually one of the better projects out there compared to most. End of year targets remain 3 to 6. $3 to $6, in my opinion, was pretty much my conservative target points. I believe $10 is very achievable this bull run, especially considering Lehman, the thing about this project, and I mentioned it before, is they're really behind closed doors in terms of, marketing what it actually does. That's why not a lot of people know about Hbar. If we come over here and we actually go to Hedera itself, they only have 112.6K followers, which is not that much at all. Not a lot of people know about this project. There's only like 280,000 accounts under Hedera. So we are extremely early in terms of Hbar. So for us to be like, the price is not moving, listen, just accumulate at these prices. Be happy that you're seeing these prices because, yeah, it already did a 10x this year alone, so we do have to consolidate for some time. And yeah, it could be argued that, we're in this 92-day accumulation zone now. But at the end of the day, for me personally, I look at this as a gift. I look at it as I'm stacking so much to the point when we do move, I will be ecstatic that we are moving at such a rapid pace. But yeah, I also can see $20 at the end of next year as well, especially if we do have that utility run, because we know that Hedera has massive amounts of utility. And like I said, comparing this to most projects, it's just night and day. This one is just so easy to invest in and be stress-free knowing what you hold. And I mean, that's just the gist of it, to be honest with you. Do you know if there is a certain amount of Hbar that you will need to run a node? I do not know. I do know the typical number is typically like 100K. That's why when we look at like Ren protocol, typically like 100K. I do know that some are like crazy with like 2 million plus tokens, but Hbar probably won't be that much. It'll probably be like about 100K if anything. When regulations come in, it will skyrocket around. Yeah, 95% of coins will disappear. Regulations are going to be a key aspect in this game. And also, like I said, with Hedera being already SEC compliant and regulated, it's pretty much an easy hold. You're talking like on this one, my friend thought you just let this one run with music again. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do the music streams too much more. I just think that I do want to do 24/7 chart streams at some point in time, but I do want to do 2 computers if I do that, because one, I could also make a ton of content while it's streaming that price chart, but it's also kind of like it kind of just feels a little bit scammy, if you will. I don't even know if that's the right word to use. Bitcoin and Hbar, yeah, Bitcoin and Hbar is. I don't really like Bitcoin. I don't personally hold any Bitcoin. I sold all my Bitcoin at around 58K to invest in other altcoins, but I just don't like Bitcoin overall. I mean, yeah, sure, it makes money, it makes sense, and it's also a big component in this game, but it's just I'd rather put my money in sound projects like Hbar. Institutions will change the game for sure. Yeah, definitely. Hbar is fire. Yep. People talk about the supply, but they don't realize that if I'm not selling, then that's not part of the supply anymore. Plus, there will be staking and lending. Yes, a lot of the supply for Hbar will be locked in value, in which, guess what? The price of it will go up in terms of, supply and demand. So, 50 billion is quite a bit. But when you're looking at, individuals holding 1 million plus in terms of their wallet, it goes quick. So, yeah, at least it's on Binance nice and early. Yup. I do think that at some point in time, Coinbase will be listing it very soon. It's just easy, in my opinion. There's just no reason not to list it. They have said themselves, reason for not doing marketing is they want to slow growth. Yeah, I think slow growth is the best way. Building a foundation for your company before you, have a ton of people, jumping into the project. It's so much better. Lots of coins, especially meme coins, find it hard to list. Yep, definitely. Oh my God, $20 now. Why hold? Time is money. This accumulation period has been very long. One of these days, there's going to be a groundbreaking announcement and the big green candle, and we go parabolic. Yeah, definitely. Stacking my bars. SEC versus Ripple will give us all the clarity on regulations. Money holding a coin that is doing nothing when there are lots of others going up is a waste of time. It's not really. Honestly, I'm not trying to shill this project at all. Yay, live stream. And the big picture, Nick, not this bull market, you say life-changing. What is your guess in the next 5 to 10 year range? Honestly, 5 to 10, I think that at some point in time it could hit $100 plus, especially if it's utilized the right way. Tom is not going to make it. Don't be like Tom. Guess what? It's 3% inflation per month. It's really not. It's just a total supply. It's already priced at 50 billion plus in terms of supply. A lot of assets. Look at Dogecoin, for an example, right? Dogecoin has like over 100 million plus released a day, and it was skyrocketing at some point in time. So what's the benefit of controlling a node? You get rewards, and you also earn money per month every epic, I think. Well, at least that's with a lot of projects like Ren and stuff. But you most likely will earn fees that are accrued in terms of transactions as well. Tom H won't make it. Don't be like Tom H. Yeah. Honestly, a lot of people will argue the fact that I am a shiller of Hbar. Honestly, I'm not. I like, in terms of me, right? I invest in sound projects that have pure utility and that will be utilized and have the partnerships already in place for them to be utilized in such a big aspect. That's why when you look at it being partnered with MTech, it's already on the U.S. Federal Reserve in terms of the digital cash infrastructure, which is the project New Dawn that we went over, and how it will be utilized in that way as well. It's just, it would be idiotic for me not to invest in something like this, because this is just sleeping money at this point, right? Hbar is just sleeping. And when it wakes up, it will already be too late to invest in it and get, 5 for $1 or 4 for $1 or even just 1 for $1. When people see a price point of a project move, like for an example, everybody was fudding on XRP, right? XRP was such a bad asset to invest in. All of a sudden it hits almost $2 and everybody's shilling it. You know, that's what happens in this game. Everybody thinks that a project is garbage just because of tokenomics or something like that. But then all of a sudden, once the price moves, everybody wants to jump into it. It's almost like all their FUD and all their, know-it-all attitude pretty much just goes out the door. And that's exactly what happens in this game in terms of anything. The SEC compliant thing, they talked about it a little bit. It's already kind of regulated, and they talked with the pretty much financial directors of the SEC and stuff. They make sure that Hedera goes under extreme audits and pretty much everything to make sure that it is compliant overall. But why do you never talk about the negatives of the coin? What negatives are there, really? I mean, I could make up FUD about Hedera if you want me to, but there's really no negatives on it. There's really not. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to talk about in terms of the negativity of Hedera, because there's really not that much. A lot of people say Lehman and what's his name? I forgot the other guy, but they're saying that the CEOs are dumping coins every day to keep the price still. It's really not. Like, they're not. If we look at their entire wallets, they're moving money. They're not selling it. They're moving it to other wallets. It could be easily explained in terms of where we see even Vitalik, right? Vitalik was moving Ethereum from one wallet to another, and then he sold. So you really need to watch transactions and if they are actually being sold or not. And a lot of people don't do that. When it wakes up after 900 days, imagine. Yeah, I mean, honestly, nothing in this game is moving right now. Show me a coin that's moving in terms of price right now at 20+%, because there's nothing. If we come over here to Live Coin Watch, there is not one asset that is doing incredible moves right now. Like this, here's one project, AMP, right? It's up 23.3%. But look at the price. It does not need to move too much to get to that 23.3%. So there's a few assets that are actually moving at a decent length, right? But look at Hbar. It's back in the 50 spot. It's up almost 7%. It's at 6.2% overall, so I shouldn't say 7%. But what asset is doing incredible things right now? That's the thing that confuses me, right? When we look at Hbar, we knew that it was poised for a breakout before Bitcoin, did its thing, right? We were almost at all-time high, almost into price discovery, and then everybody says the price isn't moving. The price moved already. We moved. The only thing that happened was Bitcoin dumped before we could actually go into price discovery. Not only that, but it already did a 10x this year, and we are going to be moving. It's just the market needs to stabilize. That's what a lot of people don't understand in terms of Hbar's price not moving. At the end of the day, the price will move. We just need the market to stabilize. Bitcoin, it should be the one that's actually under scrutinized right now because of its lack of actual price movement. Like, we're still at 40K. We haven't moved. Look at how long it's been since we were actually moving in price, right? This entire dump that started back here to now has been 63 days overall of just pain, right? We haven't been moving. We've just been in accumulation and consolidation overall for a lot of these assets, even XRP. So you can't argue the fact that, oh, it will move in 900 days because it just hasn't moved in 92 days. And in terms of 92 days, we actually technically were moving back here. So it just doesn't make sense. Shilling don't matter. U.S. retailers, or us retailers, sorry, will hardly make it move compared to institutions. Yeah, I can't, listen, me talking about a project and saying, hey, Hbar is a great investment, I'm not going to be able to move the market. I only have 2K followers, or subscribers, I should say. On Twitter, I have like 4K followers. I don't have that many people behind me in order to move a price of this asset. I don't care if you guys buy or not. I'm telling you guys the information and doing the research for you. At the end of the day, I'm not selling on you guys. I'm hodling this project because I think it's a solid project and I did the research on it. I'm not showing you guys a project just because, hey, I want to sell my bag, so please pump this asset. If I wanted to pump an asset, I would be making, I would wait until I have like 50K plus followers to shill projects or anything like that. price target in 5 to 10 years. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say 5 to 10, but like I said, $100 plus, in my opinion, especially considering the fact that I believe that the crypto market cap will be at like $7 to $10 trillion very soon. And in 5 to 10 years, I think that it will be over at least 20 trillion. I think that it could, at some point in time, I think that the crypto market cap could pretty much gain on the stock market cap, which is like over 20 trillion plus dollars. Imagine if Coinbase is a council member eventually. Yeah, I mean, I could honestly, I don't know if that's going to happen, but that would be incredible overall. Still comparing the chart to Matic's chart, yes. When we look at, if we zoom out here, right? If we look at this on a zoomed out scale, this looks pretty bad overall, but this is just a small section of what we were seeing, right? If we come over here, let me use the Bitcoin chart to go over to Matic, and we look at Matic's overall structure here. Now, it doesn't look similar here at all, because this is, at the end of the day, it just looks like it pumped. It doesn't look similar to Hbar at all. But when we zoom out and we actually look at this, right, this little zone here, this long little period here that was like 20 some days or so, is similar to what we were seeing even here before we started to break up here. And I also said this on my Twitter, right? If we come over to my profile and we go to my media, now we have to go through some overall pictures here, but if we come down, I know I mentioned it at some point in time, and a lot of people were saying, well, it's not even very similar, but it actually is. And also, even if you guys do follow Credible Crypto, he also mentioned it as well, that they're very similar. So here we go, Hbar versus Matic. So we see, here is the failed retest, was about to break out before Bitcoin crashed. Here's that candle that I was talking about, bottom support, lower low. Ignore this side because this is pretty much after the Bitcoin drop, like I said. And then we come over to Matic, right? Now look at what Matic did, right? So we had the failed retest, the bottom support, lower low, and here's that major breakout. And we were ranging to do that same breakout here, but Bitcoin dumped. So you can't argue the fact that Hbar hasn't moved simply because, we're still in this accumulation zone overall. It's just the fact that, listen, we were under the wing of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin pretty much failed us. Hbar to the moon, definitely. I mean, it's at some point in time, it needs to wake up, and like I said, it's just under the market structure right now, so we just really have to wait till the market stabilizes overall. So yeah, if it's there for 900 days, I'll have 1 million. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I mean, the longer consolidation, the longer you get to accumulate. Yeah, T-Fuel. I mean, honestly, a lot of these projects that we look at, like even Safer So, we look at T-Fuel, right? Now, some assets will move at the end of the day, but it just doesn't, like, this is not a good comparison at the end of the day because, some assets will move depending on their overall structure or what they're actually moving from. Like, this could easily be a manipulated pump. We see manipulated pumps all the time. When somebody shows a project when they have a lot of followers or whatever the case may be, yeah, movement will happen. But this is one asset out of most. Like, look at any top 50 coin. None of them are moving in a good structure point. AMP is like the only one. We look at SafeMoon, it's up like almost 12%, but half of these assets are still down for the most part. One asset moving doesn't say, oh, well, it doesn't need, Bitcoin or the entire market to move. It all depends on the actual project structure or what it's actually doing. So in my opinion, for one project to move, like for an example, T-Fuel, yeah, it doesn't need Bitcoin to pretty much consolidate, but you also have to look at what it was moving from. What actually caused the price to jump? That's what you really need to look at. Is it volume, or is it just like massive amounts of buys? It just all depends on the overall structure of it. So it is what it is. So we see here, I doubt we will pull back to 37K. Bitcoin is nasty and will leave the greedy behind. Yeah, it has been, holding strong at some support levels and also some resistance levels. So it's hard to say what's going to happen next for Bitcoin. So we'll see. Do you own a lot of Bitcoins? I actually don't own any. Like I said, I sold at 58K, bought alts at a discounted price at around 34K when we dipped back in like March, or not 34K, 44K, sorry, back in like March and April. And my main buys were Matic at the time and also Hbar. Hbar is the best crypto for this decade and will roll out Web 3.0 this decade. Yeah, definitely. You still as excited about DNT than you was. Not heard any updates about it from you. DNT is very hard to say because I still hold the amount that I was holding back even from December, because that's where most of my buys were on DNT. I'm still holding strong. They've been doing some pretty good stuff. I'm in the Discord and I pretty much talk with everybody who's a part of District as well. It's going to do things. It's just, it's waiting. It's consolidating. A lot of them are. So it is what it is. Just like the internet, no one talks about Netscape, America Online, etc. It's Google and Amazon. Hbar is the Google. Yeah, Hbar is going to do. It's going to do great things. It's just going to take time. Like I said, I mean, when we look at the entire market, it's all reigned supreme by Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin itself. So for an inactive day, thank you, brother, for your wisdom. Thank you for Delaware. Hopping off to buy more Hbar. Thank you for joining the stream, Victoria. I appreciate it. It's hard for people to imagine it hitting $10 to $20 this year, but it probably happens. That's a big jump, but it shows that people weren't around in 2016 and 2018. Yeah, I mean, even Hbar, right? Or XRP, I mean. XRP was not moving for quite some time back in 2017 and 2018 before it did an 87,000% jump in price. So it will surprise a lot of people. So it all depends. AMP just got onto Coinbase last week. Yeah, AMP it's going to be good, but it does have a lot of circulating supply that I personally don't like. I didn't do too much research on it, so I don't hold any, but overall, it is what it is. Tom H likes the US dollar. Earlier video you said Hbar will take over Bitcoin market cap and could 500x. I did not say that it could take over Bitcoin market cap. It could take over the Bitcoin market cap overall, but it's not going to do a 500x in terms of price. I think that it could do a 500x in the future, which I mentioned in that video, but I also said that a lot of assets in the space will most likely flip Bitcoin, especially considering if Bitcoin's market cap, say for so if Bitcoin goes to $100, right? If Bitcoin goes to $100 this, or $100,000, sorry, this year, which a lot of people are saying that it will, we're going to be looking at a massive market cap for the entire crypto market cap. So we're looking at almost $2 trillion for Bitcoin alone. Most assets will probably hit $1 trillion in terms of market cap. For an example, XRP, I believe, will hit $1 trillion in terms of market cap. So yeah, I think that at some point in time, Hbar will most likely flip Bitcoin's market cap. Same with XRP, because you got to remember, these are enterprise use case assets that will do incredible things in the future as well as now. So it is what it is. 50 billion is only 50,000 million. When world governments stack Hbar for running their CBDCs, 50 billion isn't that much. Yeah, definitely. The easiest lie to tell is one you fools want to believe. Yeah, sure, Tom. So to make sure I'm doing this right, I should keep my Hbar and not sell it all and buy a Doge. Yeah, if Bitcoin somehow keeps dropping to unimaginable lows, what will happen to Hbar? Hbar's price will drop with it. It's just that simple. I mean, dude, honestly, it accumulating for 92 days in a consolidation period is not that big of a deal. There's assets that did 100+ days. But not only that, Hbar in a 90-day consolidation after it did a 10x plus is totally normal. Even look at Matic, right? It's in consolidation now after it did a massive jump up in price. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you're hating on Hbar, why waste your time here? I mean, honestly, like, when I talk about Hbar, I'm not talking about Hbar in terms of, hey, I want the price to move tomorrow or, yesterday. Because a lot of people say, like, when $10? And I just say yesterday. Because I'm not going to tell you guys a specific time. I can't guarantee you guys when it's going to $10 or when it's going to pump up. But we just know that at 92 days of solid accumulation, at some point in time, it's poised for a breakout. And like I said, I think it was poised for a breakout even before Bitcoin on this candle here. So, like I said, at some point in time, I think that this is going to break out in a massive way once the market stabilizes overall. Yeah, meme coins won't be around once regulations are in place. I do agree with you there, Tony. So yeah, appreciate the live stream. Glad I got to watch up to time, or glad I got up in time to watch. I gotta go now. Time to watch the Euros. Thanks for all you do for us. No problem at all, Bros Forward. I appreciate it. I bought a brand new car with profit from Hbar and still got lots left. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Incredible. I mean, it will drop with it. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, Bitcoin dominance rises with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin drops, Bitcoin's dominance is still at almost 50. Why wouldn't assets drop with it? It's just that simple. We've seen it every single time. It's the same market structure as we always see. You cannot predict the future, Tom. Thanks for the live session, NCashOfficial. Got to run now, but splendid work as usual. Much appreciated, JC. Thank you for stopping by. I mean, I mentioned what will happen if the price dropped to 20K. We've been analyzing Bitcoin for so long, especially if it does drop to 20K. I mentioned that, Hbar will come down to that 10-cent zone. That's why this entire accumulation rectangle is here. 0.79 fib is 11 cents, easily possible if Bitcoin drops hard. Yeah, definitely. So if Bitcoin drops to 20K, what price do you think? Yeah, I just answered that question. It's such a good price to buy Hbar at. Wow. I wish I got in earlier with XRP. Yeah, a lot of people wish that they got in earlier with XRP. We got some price action in terms of the SEC lawsuit, then everybody was scared. They most likely sold their XRP. I never sell at a loss, so I just accumulated XRP during that time. And then in April, again, we had to wait 4 months for the price to move in terms of XRP. So, this game is a patience game. Some will say Hbar's not moving. Honestly, I really, at this point, it's just in an accumulation zone where I just accumulate more and more of. In the future, I suspect 50 billion supply won't be enough, and the council will increase the supply. I think it's at a finite supply, so I don't think that it will be able to, be inflated, if you will. Howdy. Welcome, Crypto Hawk. I appreciate it. Mr. Johnson. Utility. Yep, utility reigns supreme in this game. What does a stabilized market look like? A week, month of stability, etc. A stable market right now would be Bitcoin regaining support at about that 47.5K zone holding. So no liquidations to happen, which I said liquidations could definitely happen up in those key component levels. So it's very hard to see. I mean, you could say that you don't see a point in holding the bag. That's totally fine. Like I said, nobody's telling you to hold Hbar if you don't want to. I mean, that's just the way it is. Yeah, same as quality live of the Euros come on Portugal. Hbar is being used so much in Australia to track wines, agricultural, etc. The list goes on. I truly believe in it. Yeah, definitely. Hbar is being utilized on a massive scale. It has a ton of partnerships already. The Chainlink integration was huge. Same with MVC. Hbar is being adopted in terms of pharmaceuticals, healthcare, payment systems, payment structures, financial markets. What's crazy is a lot of people say that like the partnerships and stuff are not reflecting the price. And like I said, it's all marketing right now. The team is not marketing this project, but once it does happen, the price is going to soar. I like these lives. We'll be more often. We'll be here more often. I appreciate it, Callum. And I definitely plan on doing more live streams definitely in the future. I just used my entire HSA to buy Marathon Digital Holdings, building the largest Bitcoin mining farm in North America. I bought my first set of XRP at 21 cents, but I didn't buy enough, which is unfortunate. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, you got to stack more. Like, there's always opportunities in this game. Like, everybody thought, like I know a lot of people were saying, like, XRP is, like, going to be the digital reserve currency. It made a lot of people think that they were going to miss out on, like, life-changing games. But this is actually a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We talked about it. We talked about it initially in the beginning of this live stream, where the CEO of MTech was even mentioning, like, this is once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to rebuild the US dollar in a CBDC format. And MTech is already partnered with Hedera Hashgraph, so we could actually say for certain that Hedera Hashgraph is a once in a lifetime opportunity overall. So it is what it is. I mean, 5K more Hbar on Saturday, buying all the way to 50 cents. Yeah, I mean, I accumulate under 30 cents overall. I think that under 30 cents is extremely undervalued overall. So thank you kindly for all your valuable information, my friend. God bless you and your family. Much appreciated, David. Love to hear it. Hbar is still in the 20s. Yeah, Hbar is very cheap. I can't believe that we're still at these prices. Honestly, I can't believe that we came down this low. We hit a lot of my original buy targets, so I was very happy to see that. I thought that these targets down here will never be hit again, and I'm very happy to see it. And I do have some price targets that are, set up for that 10 to 15 cent range. As you guys can see, this is pretty much labeled here. This is my strong aping hard level, but this down here is where I'm selling the house. I mean, I'm mortgaging the house, and I'm just buying here. But for sure, like, this is an extremely undervalued asset that's going to change the game for a long time. All right, guys. I'm going to end the live stream here. It's been almost an hour long. I do hope that everybody's having a great day, great night, wherever you guys are in this amazing world. I hope everybody is enjoying, their day, their time here. Welcome everybody who is new to the channel and new to the live stream. If you guys are enjoying the content, if you guys are enjoying daily content as well, definitely subscribe and turn notifications on if you guys, do enjoy the content. You see the CBDC hearing with MTech. Yep, I pretty much, listened to the entire thing. It was incredible. I think there was a lot of information to take away in it, especially considering the fact that, Cadet was really talking about the future of blockchain technology and hashgraph technology, if you will, because I don't think that she really understands that hashgraph is not the same as blockchain, but it's all good. But it is what it is. I'm late to the party. No worries, Crypto Hawk. There will be a lot more live streams in the future. Today, see yous. Take care, mate. Thanks for the live. No problem, IZ Labels. Thank you, Nick. No problem, Bill. That was great. You should do more often. Thanks, Nick. No problem, John Doe. Thanks. More live streams, please. Definitely will, Chris. Thanks for the free... Is that cookies? I don't even know if that's cookies or not. But no problem. Thanks for the time, Nick. No problem. Tom gave you a dislike. Laugh out loud. Ha. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, honestly, no hate. Like, a lot of people... Listen, projects are not pertaining to every individual in this space. That's why I always say do your own research, because there is always going to be those people that FUD on a project, especially something as crazy as Hbar. They want you, like, the funny thing is that they want you to create FUD for a project that just doesn't have any. And that's the funny thing. CEO from MTech got in front of the government today. Yup, that's exactly what I was talking about, right? Like, first off, MTech's already partnered with Hbar, and having their partner in front of the government talking about the future of the CBDC and the future financial system, that's incredible. I mean, that's, no matter if you want to support Hbar or not, just being in cryptocurrency and having, cryptocurrency get to the point of governments talking about it, that is where you really see incredible things happening. So you really got to support the fact that, a lot more people are going to be knowing about crypto for a long-term game, and it's really good just for the health of crypto as well, and really, bringing more buyers in so that the market cap grows. Because at some point in time, like I said, I think the market cap of crypto will overtake the stock market market cap. But nonetheless, I hope that everybody is having a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. If you guys do want more free content, you guys could follow me on Twitter at NCashOfficial. You guys could also join the free Discord that is pinned in this chat. Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Anybody who is new here, I appreciate it. And yeah, have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. And I'll definitely be doing some videos as well today on a few things, including Jigstack and stuff like that. So